Let's try up. Hello lovelies, how are you all doing? I'm feeling rougher than the bottom of a budgerigars cage, hence, yes, I'm in the pyjamas and a hoodie. One of the beautiful things about working from home is, of course, it doesn't matter what I look like. Well, I could have made an effort for you maybe. Yeah, just, I don't know whether it's a cold. Oh, I've never opened this before and I've just seen 20p in the dishwasher. I'm rich. Yeah, I don't know if it is a cold, quite what it is. All I do know is that, yeah, this is the third day and just feeling really, I'm dead on my feet, but that's no excuse for stopping, is it? And, right, that's the dishwasher. I'm taking photographs of the dishwasher, the extractor hood, because, come with, oh, you're right into the light now. Yeah, I'm just taking pictures of them because they're coming out and I'm wondering about the possibility of maybe getting a few quid for them. I mean, look, if I don't make any money on them, so be it. As long as I can get them a new home. How can I take a picture of that? Yeah, as long as I can get them a new home, that's what matters. But yeah, maybe if I can make a few quid. Let's get out of the window. You're all the way down there. So yeah, photos, and also I've got the manuals for them. Oh, let's have a sit. Let's have a sit before I flop. Oh, actually, before we have a sit, I want to show you something, then I'll carry on with that. This is really great news. I've just had my final meeting with my planning chap. So my planning application is going to go through. But I love his drawings. It's so cute. So this is the before, but it won't look any different after. But I love this little sort of detail of a suggestion of the stonework. Obviously that side's tougher to do because it backs onto the other people. But anyway, yeah, there's two sides. There's the how it will look afterwards. And I was thinking this would look great, not necessarily in here, but I think I want to frame it. I was mentioning how much I love technical drawings anyway, and it's just, yeah, I find it thoroughly charming. Oh, love it. Oh, I'm so excited now. Right, let's have a sit and I'll tell you where everything is at. Yeah, not right. Anyway, so I've got an electrician coming in a couple of days and he's coming to do one specific job, and then I suddenly thought, because I'd asked someone else and people haven't got back to me, but anyway, I suddenly thought about these bits to take out, so I emailed him and I said, I've got a few other bits and bobs. Do I need to make another appointment? Anyway, he's going to look at a few of this list for me when he comes in a couple of days, and it might be that he will need to come back another day, but anyway, so part of it is to decommission the extractor hood, which doesn't extract. I mean, it's intentionally that it doesn't extract to the outside, and get rid of the dishwasher because I don't use it, don't need it. Well, you've seen how long have I been here now? 5 months, and I've just found 20p in it. So once they're out, so that's why I wanted to take pictures today. I wanted to remember to get pictures so that that people can see them in situ. In fact, I'm just thinking, as I'm sitting, I can get a longer shot. I can get a longer picture. If someone could... Look at my camera's held together with an elastic band. It works. Yeah, having that slightly longer shot may help someone to sort of imagine it in their kitchen. The fact is, they're not old. I think they are at most 6 years old. And what's my strap doing? At most they're 6 years old, but they won't have had a huge amount of usage because, of course, this whole flat was an Airbnb before I bought it. So there will have been a lot of times when it was actually empty. You know, especially sort of from end of October right through till Easter, there's far less bookings. So they won't have had a lot of use. I've got the original manuals, great. So yeah, maybe I can sell them. So what I'll do is I'll look up both of them online to see what they sell for. I will factor in a whole heap of depreciation. I'll actually look to see if I can find any that are second-hand, that are being sold second-hand and what folk are asking for. And then what I'll do is, I'm on local Facebook groups here, so I'll just post on there to see, because obviously someone's going to need to come and collect them. But that'd be great. I know it's a really little thing, but it's felt like, I mean, I've been so busy since I moved in, and I've got a really busy period of visitors now as well. I mean, it's a 4.5-5 week period in which I've got 4 lots of visitors. It's mental. I mean, I can't wait, but I think in future I'm going to probably limit it to 1 visit in a month, just to give me time to turn things around, because I have to do all the laundry after I've got one lot coming up now where I think I'm going to have a day and a half to clean, do all the laundry, shop for the next lot of food for everyone, cook. It's too much. Anyway, so because of that, not just because of that, but just in general since I moved in, I feel like my feet have hardly hit the floor. So little things like getting rid of these appliances that I don't want and that are in my way, it just feels like a little victory, little mini victories. You know, when I got the asbestos done, great, it's one thing ticked off the list because it's a long list. But now you've seen that my planning application, that makes me so happy. I mean, it makes me happy to see the drawings because they're beautiful, but the process has started. I need to blow my nose, excuse me. Oh, that's better. I was also getting a bit hot. That's all day. Layers off, layers on, layers off, layers on. Anyway, yes, planning. So, yay. So this will now be submitted. So it'll be sort of, and where's my handkerchief? End of September. And he was saying that apparently applications are taking about 2 months to process. So end of November. So the end of November, I think, is the earliest I'm going to hear anything. And let's just hope that I get planning permission. I mean, I don't see why not, because as mentioned previously, everyone else on my street has changed them, and some of them are UPVC. None of them have been put back. Or, sorry, not none of them, half of them aren't even in the original style. So, you know, I think in a conservation area, it should be the original style. And actually, I had a meeting with my chap, so I had to go through all the documentation that he's filled in, and so much of it says, will not look different, will not change appearance, will not look different, will not change. Which, you know, that's the key to it, is let me do this because no one's going to really notice unless you get right up close. And ultimately, it's going to give me an A+ rating. Those windows are A+ rated, whereas at the moment they're not even E. They're not even E rating. They don't even count on the rating anyway. So if I get the go ahead end of November, then I think the manufacture of my windows is going to take, I think they said 3 to 4 months, so November, December, January, February. So hopefully, oh God, it's going to be cold. February, March-ish. So it turns out I am going to have a winter here without the new windows. And I sort of, last night I was falling asleep and I was thinking, oh, if only you'd found this chap in April when you moved in, the windows would be getting put in this week, or, you know, there's no point in going over the if onlys, because it didn't happen like that. So the main thing is this ball is well and truly rolling now, so it's a firm, fingers crossed, around the end of November. Please, please, please let me get permission to have double glazing here, because I can manage one winter without. I ain't managing two. Anyway, in other news, what else has been going on? So good. Appliances out, planning application in. I'm also in the process now of speaking to all sorts of other trades. I'm starting to get people through the door to quote on other things. Obviously I'm negotiating some of it with my neighbours, one of whom is brilliant and gets back to me straight away. Whenever I message, email, whatever, I get a response pretty much, I mean, within the hour. Sometimes it's within minutes. The other one, blood from a stone. We'll see. Oh, and I did have, I still haven't had a bill from my water company yet. That's one of my phone calls to make, because I did see the chap, I'm losing track of time, a few weeks ago. He was out in the street taking my meter reading. And yeah, I want to have a bill, because I want to know if I'm on track with my use. Am I using too much? Am I using less than I think I am? Because then if I'm using quite a bit less than they guesstimated that I would use, then we can bring that direct debit, we can bring that bill down, which, you know, honestly, any of the bills that I can bring down a bit would be brilliant, because they're all higher here than in London. My fuel bill, so my electricity and gas, the direct debit that they set it at was 50% higher than I was paying in London. So in London I was paying £80 a month, and here it's 120. My usage over the summer is very comparable with London. It's virtually identical. The big thing obviously will be when we get into winter and I start to put the heating on, but even so, I'm amassing a huge lump of credit, which is great, because that's the idea, is you overpay in the summer, so that when we get to the winter and our bills start going up, that credit that was built in the summer gets used to pay those winter bills. Brilliant. I do still think it's probably too much, so it might take a year. I mean, I can afford it, I can do it, but I would love in a year's time, once I've had a full year of bill paying, to be able to say, look, we can bring this down to 90, even if it's 90, rather than getting right back down to my 80 of London. That's going to be better than 120 a month, obviously. And if it's really been too high, then of course I will get a refund. I won't ask for that yet, though. There'd be no point. In London, if my credit ever built up too much, generally about March or April, once I've got through the winter, I could see actually there's a couple of hundred in there that really doesn't need to be, because now, April, going into summer, about to build credit again. So, can I have a refund, please? And they were always fine. Obviously, they're always fine about it. So that will be, so yeah, that's the fuel. But with the water, I want to give them a call, because how long have I been here now? April, May, June, July, August, just coming into September. It's 5 months, and I would say that my water usage would be higher in the summer because of watering my food than it would be in winter. So if right now I'm using less than they predicted, then by the winter I'm going to be using way less. So I'm going to give them a call. I did have an email from them. They were doing one of these customer survey things, and I thought, okay, I'll respond, because that's how companies learn, isn't it? If they do a customer survey and we let them know what's good, what's not so good, and you know, you'll go into our prize draw to receive a £100 gift voucher. I've never won a gift voucher from all these surveys, but never mind. So part of it, they were saying, you know, they were asking about water usage, they were asking about, you know, what's important to you, environment, reliability of service, etc., customer service, of course. But then there was a whole section about saving water, using less water, because we are having more and more droughts. And there's this whole section that it says, would you consider, and there's a whole list of ways to save water. And the answers, it was tick box, the answers were either, I might consider it, I definitely consider it, I probably wouldn't consider it, I definitely would not do it, and then the final column, I already do it. So you can imagine, I think there were 20 suggestions for all of them. I'm already doing it, I'm already doing it, I'm already doing it, because I'm a goody two-shoes. Except for one of them, and that was a 4-minute shower. Have you ever timed your shower? So I timed my shower the other night, and I didn't hang around. I did it really quickly. So obviously, get in the shower, get my hair wet, lather up my shampoo bar, wash, scrub the hair, back under the shower, rinse it off, make sure the rest of my body is wet, soap, well, you know how to shower. Why am I telling you what I do in the shower? I do in the shower exactly what all of you do. So I didn't hang around, and I timed it. I had my phone just outside of the curtain, so I could see that the first bit, just the getting in, getting wet enough to wash my hair and rinse my hair out, took 3.5 minutes. Now you could say that soapy water from my hair is running down my body, that's good enough, but I want a proper wash. I want, you know, a proper soap in the armpits, pits and bits. So I then soaked and rinsed my body, and that took 2.5 minutes. So that was a 6-minute shower, and it's got to be one of the most miserable showers I've ever taken in my life. I mean, I've always preferred bathing, but 6 minutes of frantic activity. There was no part of it was relaxing, no part of it was that sort of visceral enjoyment of the warm water on one's body, and even the feel of soap on one's body and the smells and that whole, you know, I have my shower at night before I go to bed, and it's part of that kind of wash the day away, start to relax, just, so I reckon my normal shower, I probably take a 10-minute shower. Now I don't have a pressure shower, or, you know, one of those that, I don't know what it's called, I don't want to say pressure washing myself, but it's not pumped, it's not using extra water because it's being pumped at velocity. And I've got a shower head that it makes it feel like more water is coming out than it actually is. So yeah, I'm not considering a 4-minute shower. Not going to do it. But look, I only have 2 or 3 showers a week. I no longer have a bath, obviously. So honestly, I think I'm probably a really, really careful user of water. I'm not excessive, and I don't have a car that gets washed, and I have 1 bowl of water a day to clean up in the kitchen, and yeah, it's really minimal. It's really minimal. But yeah, time your showers, see how long it takes. I was quite surprised. Anyway, oh, a book to share. My throat's going. I have just read Night Walking by John Lewis Stemple. The subtitle is 4 Journeys into Britain After Dark. So this writer, John Lewis Stemple, I really like him. He's one of my favourite nature writers. He's the only nature writer who's won the Wainwright Prize twice. The Wainwright Prize is a prize for nature writing. So the first one, I think this is my 4th or 5th book of his I've read. The first one that I came across was called Meadowland, The Private Life of an English Field, and it was beautiful, so sublime. Of all of his books I've read, definitely I think Meadowland is far and above all of them. I love his writing, I love all of them, but Meadowland is really, there's something very, very special about that book. I felt it on a visceral level as well as an emotional and intellectual level. Beautiful book. I then read, I think I need to go to bed. I then read, I want to say ran again, why am I saying ran? The Wood, The Life and Times of Cockshut Wood, beautiful. Then I read The Running Hare, The Secret Life of Farmland. Plus, I've also read The Glorious Life of the Oak. Glorious Life of the Oak, rather like this, is just a sort of little skinny volume. And it's tiny. It's about 100 pages. I read it in a night, basically. What I like is there's some extracts of poems. There's some complete poems, and not his. So Robert Frost, Emerson, Wordsworth. So it's a lovely little eclectic mix, and there's all sorts of illustrations throughout, and there are different illustrators that are used, so different styles, different centuries, all sorts. And essentially this book is about experiencing and immersing oneself in nature after the sun goes down. So this is nighttime nature, and he chooses one of his remembered or favourite walks per season. So there's 4 chapters for each season, one for each season, and for whatever reason he ends up he's walking at night. And then there are each chapter also there are other little tiny bits of notes that he's made over the years from nighttime walks. And it's beautiful. You know, he meets Brock, he meets Rufus. Oh, bats and owls, as you might expect. The feeling of being in the woods after dark, but it's winter, so you know there's no canopy. The stars, the moon. It's really gorgeous. It's quiet. It's gentle. It's really immersive. I just felt that I was on those walks with him. So yeah, I highly recommend him. Full stop. If you've never read him before, Meadowland is an absolute, it's a no-brainer. I've just picked up his book. Is it even mentioned in this? There's a list of what he's written a lot. Some of them are these little skinny ones, but I've just picked up his book called, I think it's simply called La Vie, where he and his wife, so he's a farmer in Herefordshire in England on the Welsh borders. But he and his wife end up going to France. Does he stay for 1 year and then that's it? I'm not sure, but farming in France. Can't wait. And I learnt some new words. Love a book where I learn new words. So, I've forgotten the meaning of this now. I can tell I'm not feeling all there. Lucubrate. I think that means to... Does that mean to work at night or just to work? Lucubrate. Nyctophobic. You can probably work that one out. Nyctophobic. Phobic, a fear of. Nycto, night. But there's another glorious word in here which is even more specific. Let me find it for you because it's brilliant. I love these crazy words. Is it there or is it on a different page? I now can't find it. Sorry, I'm being useless today. There's another word. So nyctophobic is afraid of the dark, afraid of night. But there's another word. It might be something like nyctoboreal-phobic or something, but it's specifically afraid of being in the dark of a forest or a wood. I love these specific words. And then there was another one, ziggurat. These are the spellings, by the way. Rather than me reading, saying it out loud. Ziggurats, and he talked about haystacks, the sort of the profiles of the haystacks. So he's sort of seeing them shadow or whatever, dusk, the lights behind them. Anyway, the profiles look like ziggurats. Didn't know that word at all, but it's an ancient Mesopotamian stepped tower, flat on the top, sometimes surmounted by a temple. So I was thinking, oh, okay, so like if we think about pyramids, what pyramids were to the Egyptians, ziggurats were to the Mesopotamians, but with a flat top. Great, that's me saying, let's learn new words. And I can't remember that word for the specific thing of the fear of the dark that's in the woods or in a forest. Great. So yeah, if you get a chance, look at John Lewis Stemple. Check your library. My library, I nearly picked it up the other day and I thought, no, I don't quite fancy it. So I know it's there. I'll go back for it another time. But they've got his book. It's called The Pond. He likes these pithy titles like Pond, Wood, Meadow with a subtitle. So Pond, the subtitle is, where are you? Oh no, it's called, sorry, I beg your pardon, it's called Still Water, The Deep Life of the Pond. Yeah, pond life doesn't really excite me as much as, say, Meadowland excites me. So the other thing I've been doing of late, I'm going to wrap up soon. I'm going to go on the sofa. I need to blow my nose again, sorry. That's better, and I can top up my water at the same time. So this kind of partly came out of when my friend Kate was visiting. Oh, we talked about all sorts, but one of the things we were talking about Swedish death cleaning and just not leaving a mess for other people to take care of, etc. But also we were both just talking about, I think it came out of sort of frugality and just not buying stuff, what have you, and a conversation about how we probably all have more than we need. And I was thinking, yeah, I think it's time for me. You can see the stack here. I can let a few things go. So, for example, I love this. It's my little Beatrix Potter jug. But I've got loads of jugs. I love jugs, full stop, but you can't quite see. I've got jugs up there, and it's like, do I really need... Oh, see, this is where it gets hard, because it's a small jug and my other jugs are bigger, but I think I can let it go. There's other bits. I was thinking I'm going to let go this is a really beautiful bowl by Liberty. There is a slight printing error on it. Can you see just there? But it doesn't take away from it, does it? So, you know, these bits and pieces are going to go into my shop, a little vase, but I mean, I never have like teeny tiny flowers. If I'm going to, generally what I'll do is quite often it's stuff from the garden or weeds even, and they go into one of my jugs, so not needed. This I've had for years, beautiful bowls, heavy. And this I used to have sitting on the end of my bath in London with my soap, you know, shampoo bar, nail brush, pumice stone, what have you, all your bathing bits. There's nowhere for it in the bathroom. Do I need it for anything else? Little violets. It's sweet, isn't it? So that can go. Honestly, so much. And bowls, because I've got a thing about bowls, and I have loads. But there were times in London when they were all in use, but that goes back to my days of having the allotment. So without an allotment, I don't have so much all the bowls I need for, say, drying of seeds, my produce. Beans in particular, but also things like when I used to do my tomatoes, when I used to skin them, so I would do ice baths, so they boil and then they go into an ice bath. So they used to go in and out of all these different bowls, so I thought, well, that one can go too. So a lot of this I'm going to put in my shop, not this one because it's so big and heavy that to post it, so that'll go to a charity shop. And I probably bought it in a charity shop. It's that one. Some bits and bobs of plates. I've got these two little Cath Kidston ones. That was a saucer that doesn't have a cup, but sweet for a little tea time stuff. Some of my spare of my vintage set. There's another Cath Kidston plate there. So I just don't need them all, and I've even gone through tins as well that I don't need. So I've got my little Union Jack tin. It's a little tiny bit beaten up. Flower tin, I don't need it. I've got all my Kilners. Oh, and then the other thing was, do you remember this? I bought it quite soon after I'd moved in. I haven't used it. the fact is, oh, it's had a couple, I need to wash that again before I'm going to put that in my shop. The fact is, I take the compost straight out, and there have been days when it's been raining. It doesn't matter, I still take it straight out, because I could probably throw it from the kitchen window. If the lid was open, oh, maybe I need a stick with a hook on it in the kitchen, so I can open the kitchen window, hook up the compost bin and lob my peelings in there. But yeah, I mean, I've just been going straight out with them, and I probably will all winter too, so it's just like, I might as well just take them straight out, because they have these little charcoaly inserts. You can buy replacement ones of these, which helps to stop any smells. But like I said, I am literally so close to the compost bin, I might as well take it out. I know allotment friends, excuse me, used to walk down to the plot on a Sunday with their compost, you know, their kitchen compost, to put into the bins at the allotment. But mine's right at home, it's right outside. I did also start to look at a load of my baskets. I love this water hyacinth. And I got 3 in a pile here, and I thought, yeah, I can let this go. And then I suddenly thought, oh no, these I am going to wait, because once the shelves are built in the living room, that's also, well, at least I'm waiting now for carpenters to come and quote for me. But yeah, once those shelves are all built, these will be useful storage, might be useful storage on the shelves for some of my sewing bits. They would have to be the sewing bits that are in quite frequent use, because you don't want to put something long-term storage in here, because it's just going to get dusty. But if it's frequent use, if it's a current project, that would be useful actually. If I'm just cutting, if I've got a pile that are cut waiting to be sewn, great. So I'll hold off with those. But yeah, it feels, that's the only one that's just given me a momentary pang just then. But you know, it feels good. It feels good to, I've really enjoyed all my bits and pieces. It feels good to now pass them on, let them have another life, another home. I simply don't need them. My life has changed, you know, in the last couple of years, now that I don't have an allotment. So that changes, you know, how much crockery. The rest is all still in use. And also, now that I've got a big kitchen with a table, I'm having more people over, and I'm feeding more people, which I love. That was one of the things I really, really wanted for this home, was to have people around this table. I can't think of anything lovelier actually than sitting here with friends, just talking and eating and having a drink and a bit. So I was thinking, oh, I could get rid of this, and I suddenly thought, oh no, you can't get rid of too many plates, because actually now you are really using all those plates. But yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? I think we all probably have, even if we think we've pared things down, there's probably still more we can do. You know, I did a big sort out it's probably getting on for 2.5 years ago now. I made some videos about it. I got rid of tons in that session. Loads went to charity shops. I put a load of stuff on eBay. Great. And then about a year or so ago, I thought I'll have another go through. And I think it does get easier. Once you've had that first big push to get rid of excess stuff, I think it does get easier. And now when I look at things, I think I can say to myself, well, you remember how you got rid of X, Y, and Z 2-3 years ago? You haven't missed it at all. So go on, get rid of this. I've just done a few more, just odds and ends of just a few items of clothing. Some of my clothes are now, yay, they're a bit too big. Great, share them, pass them on. And of course, I'm now getting back into the clothes that I had a few years ago, which I kept. So, yay, new wardrobe. Anyway, you get the point, you get the point. Right, I'm struggling a bit now, so I think that's my cue to toddle off, go and curl up on the sofa and maybe even have a little afternoon sleep. I need to eat first. I've got some carrot and lentil out of the freezer the other day. Thank goodness for batch cooking and filling a freezer with our lovely homemade food, because the last couple of days there's no way I fancied cooking. But I do fancy eating, and it's really important when you're under the weather to eat well. So I'm going to have a bowl of carrot and lentil soup. It feels good on a day like this. It's really, really, really windy today. It's supposed to be raining, spits and spots, but mostly it's windy, howly. So yeah, that feels good. So I'll have my soup and then I'll have my curl up on the sofa, and if I nod off, who cares? I can edit and do things later. All right, lovelies, I will see you all again really soon. Hopefully by the next time you see me, I won't be in, excuse me, I won't be in my pyjamas, and I'll have a brain that's a bit more engaged and functioning properly. Why am I saying ran instead of read? I read such and such a book, not I ran such and such a book. The brain's a funny thing, isn't it? Right, waffling now. I'll see you all again really soon. Until then, cheerio, lovelies.